Hello and welcome to the Print on Demand Playbook Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian here with my co-host, Kerry Egeler. And in this episode, we're going to be breaking down the 15 best-selling print on demand products in 2024. And just a spoiler alert, yes, number one is still t-shirts. However, there is a particular t-shirt style, which is not the Bell & Canvas 3001, which has been absolutely exploding in popularity, especially over the last year. So we're actually going to talk about this. We'll be sharing this at the end, and we'll be kind of giving our theories as to why we believe that this particular style is doing so well right now. But first, real quick, before we begin, if you have not already, please consider subscribing to the podcast or our YouTube channels where we publish all of our episodes. It really helps us reach new listeners. That is our mission. We just want to reach as many people as possible. It helps you by never missing an episode. It's really a win-win all around, and we really appreciate it. So with that, thank you so much in advance. We appreciate you. And now let's jump in. Hello and welcome back to the Print on Demand Playbook Podcast. I am super excited about this episode, but because I don't know about you, Kerry, but I'm like a sucker for those like top 10 bestsellers in this category, top 10 bestsellers in that category.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really excited to share the top 15 best-selling print on demand products for 2024. But before we get into that, Kerry, man, what's going on with you?
What's up? Man, I'm deep in the trenches of bringing a brand new program to the people, AI Profit Club. So it's been
Nice.
just been had my head down hard at work. Really passionate and excited about everything that you can do as an entrepreneur with AI, and specifically as a creative e-commerce seller. Print on demand, apparel, that kind of category. So I've just been deep in that, creating content, lessons, learning, all that kind of stuff. It's been awesome. So I've been busy.
That's super cool, man. I know it's just crazy how quickly AI evolved and how already there are so many ways that it can help us as print on demand sellers, our listeners as print on demand sellers, to save time and money.
That's pretty wild.
And that's obviously very helpful. It's going to allow us sometimes to feel like we have a team working for us. It's going to increase our productivity and hopefully make things a whole lot easier while making our business a whole lot more profitable. So
it's exciting.
The benefits are endless, man. I'm excited to hear more about the program as you start rolling things out.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard about it in the last episode. That was awesome.
I'm not sure when this comes out. It may already be out. I don't know. I don't know when this episode's coming out, but if you might already be in it, if you're listening to this, you might already be a part of it.
That's awesome.
If it is available, though, if it is available right now when you're listening, we'll put it in the show notes if you want to check it out for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, man. Well, just before we jump into this, I want to give a shout out to a YouTube subscriber, switching things up here.
Let's go.
Because the truth is we're actually pretty low on reviews.
Go give us some reviews.
Yeah, we usually look at Apple Podcasts, and that's where we find the reviews and read them. So I just before I jump into this review, I just want to make an ask of you. If you are loving this podcast, if you're getting a lot of value out of this podcast, if you're one of our incredible loyal listeners, if you wouldn't mind just taking like 1 or 2 minutes just to write us a quick review. It can even be 1 or 2 lines. They really motivate us. We love reading them, and we love shouting you out. So I hope that gets us some more reviews so we can go back to Apple reviews. But I'm more than happy to be sharing reviews from YouTube subscribers. I've shared Instagram, email subscribers. So we want to show love for all of you guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. All right, here's a review from YouTube, and this is from Egeler. I don't know how to pronounce that, but pretty cool word.
What's up?
Yeah. So this was a really cool comment that he wrote on one of our videos. And I replied and I was like, I'm absolutely shouting you out on the podcast because that was so kind. And we love showing you love. So Egeler says, I've been learning POD strategies for a few years and watched and listened to a lot of channels and podcasts. These guys are a breath of fresh air, down to earth, very knowledgeable. They don't act like they're better than you, like so many fake gurus out there. And they're obviously very passionate about POD and helping to make everyone successful. Keep it going, guys.
Let's go. We
Let's
appreciate you.
go.
We appreciate you.
I mean, we pride ourselves on not being gurus. We are not gurus. We're just normal people like you, our listeners, and everything we've done, you can do too. So I take that as a huge compliment. I don't want to be this fake, phony guru. Like if you have listened to this podcast for a period of time, you know that we just keep it real here. It's not always pretty, but we keep it real. We are optimists, of course, and we believe in having a abundance mindset. But yeah, we're not gurus. We're nothing special. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I'm nothing special. I'm no genius guru, anything like that. Maybe Kerry is, but
yeah, I'm a guru and I'm special and I'm a genius and couldn't be further from it, man. Couldn't be more opposite of that.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure. We're just two dudes hanging out,
two normal dudes who have just been in this space for a really long time. And when you've been in this space for as long as us, you learn a thing or two. We're also both very passionate about teaching and having an impact. So hopefully that shows throughout the podcast. We absolutely love doing this and sharing our knowledge with you. No gatekeeping here. We are just like unmuzzled. Try to just bring as much value as possible. Speaking of value, let's just transition into the main event. I'm excited about this episode. It was actually inspired by a Printify blog article where they use their industry insights to select the 2024 print-on-demand best sellers. And according to their data, the best-selling print-on-demand products for 2024 are the 15 products that we're going to be breaking down. And I wanted to get started with that because people are probably listening to this being like, wait a sec, 15 best-selling products of 2024? We're like 3 months in, dude. What are you talking about? But these print-on-demand companies, it is so much fun when they put out blog articles and reports about what they're seeing, about the trends, about what's selling, because they have more insight than pretty much anybody else.
They have the data. They literally have the data.
They have the data. Exactly. They have the data. Selling. So I'm confident going with the data from this report. It's better than I would have made up off the top of my head. And we like to bring data. We like to give as accurate of information as possible. So what we're going to do, Kerry, is we're going to break this down starting with number 15. But I actually just want to I want to have a spoiler alert for number 1.
Uh-oh. No, come on, man.
Dude. Okay, here's why though.
Everybody already knows what it is.
Number 1 is always freaking number 1. Number 1 is always number 1. So I'm just gonna drop the ball. Number 1 is t-shirts. Yes, it's t-shirts. It has been for as long as I can remember, and it probably will be indefinitely.
Hey, so can we just drop the mic for all the haters out there? For all the t-shirt haters?
Yeah.
All the people saying you can't get the margins out of t-shirts. T-shirts don't sell. They're saturated. Number 1, baby.
Yeah. The undisputed number 1 champion. And I mean, we could have a whole episode on, the myth that is t-shirts are too saturated and t-shirts don't sell. But I will say it's super saturated if you just sell general t-shirts, but that's not what we teach. That's not what we would ever recommend anyone do. Your niche should be one of your biggest differentiators. And if you can offer high quality t-shirts that evoke a lot of emotion and relatability for your particular niche with just some in mind, you can have crazy amounts of success. And a lot of print-on-demand sellers, that's their number 1 selling product. So it's definitely a myth that you can't sell t-shirts anymore. But the reason
100%.
why I wanted to just kind of spill the beans right out of the gate is because first, I expected everyone would have guessed that t-shirts are number 1. So I just want to get that off. But the other reason why I mentioned that is because there is a very, very trendy t-shirt right now is not the Bella and Canvas 3001. And that I am
Don't
not
say
going to
that.
spoil.
Yeah, don't spoil that. You're gonna have to listen to the end. Find out what that trendy t-shirt is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This t-shirt has been blowing up in the last year, and that's why we need to talk about it. But we're going to get to that. I just wanted to give you dangle that carrot there to get you listening all the way through, because it's really helpful knowing this stuff, right? It's so important as sellers that we are creating for the demand. And by knowing what the best-selling products are, and then doing our design research and creating verified, validated, winning designs, using validated designs as inspiration for our own, when you put those two together, man, you can have just insane amounts of success. So we're trying to share the product part. We talked about the design part quite a bit in the last couple of episodes. So now we're bringing the product part into play. So let's just kick it off, starting with number 15. What I was thinking we would do, Kerry, is we'll just go through each one, starting from 15 to 1, and we'll just kind of give a couple pointers about each. Some things that make them, I don't know, particularly like good or beneficial to maybe add to your store. Now, not every product is probably going to make sense for every store, but I would argue that most of them will. Like, I can't. Go ahead.
Some of the things on this list might not expect.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to say it. Might not expect. There's a few weird ones on this list. And it's going to give you some good ideas for you to go out and put these in your store, right?
100%. 100%. And this is what we encourage you guys to do. So, if you
delay no more.
What's that?
Delay no more. Delay no more. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Let's just jump right in. Number 15 is candles.
Candles.
It's candles. And I mean, I don't know if people would have guessed that this would have made the top 15, but I will say, you know this, Kerry, the home and living decor product category is blowing up right now. It is so popular. And I feel like a lot of sellers, myself included, especially at the beginning, didn't really think or consider this much. It was kind of like you go to apparel, you offer t-shirts, tanks, hoodies, sweatshirts, stuff like that, right? But I just want to, like, for all of our listeners, I want to encourage you, like, think about if this could make sense for your niche, because I think a lot of people just overlook this. But what I love about it, anything in home and decor, home and living, it's usually less competitive than apparel, and it can actually make a lot of sense for a lot of different niches. So, this category is huge. What I like about candles is that they're very giftable. I've been gifted so many candles that we've actually had to start donating candles, because we always get candles as gifts. And as much as I love candles, we have like too many candles for our place. But we also give candles, my wife and I. It's just a great gift. I love
candles.
What's that?
I love candles.
Same. I absolutely love burning candles, and I really think that these can work for a lot of niches. So I don't want anyone ruling this out, especially around like Christmas time. This is such a good gift idea. Kerry, I want to know, it could be a stocking stuffer too, but Kerry, I want to know any other thoughts on candles.
Yeah, couple thoughts. I've talked about this a little bit on some YouTube videos before, and put candles on there as kind of like an idea. And I think it's just interesting because, just for some people out there, if you're wondering a little bit more about this product, essentially what the candle is with print on demand is they're just putting a sticker over the front of the candle, right? So in many cases, you can get different scents, different kinds of candles. To give you an idea of what Printify has, I'm just looking. They've got 9 ounce scented candles. That are, smaller, 9 ounces, and they've got a 13.75 ounce. They've got a full glass one that's a little bit of a different color, and then they've got like some tiny tin candles, soy candle, just different kinds, eco-friendly options. And again, you're just essentially customizing the sticker on the front. And I think it's different from, in some ways it's the same as what we're doing with a t-shirt. We're just printing on the front of a blank t-shirt.
Yeah.
But it feels different because it's a candle, and it's like I think when we think about selling candles, we think like we need to have some like new novel type of candle that's going to be like this scent that nobody thought of, and it's, you know, going to burn forever, and it's like, you know, all you think like it just kind of with the candle, that's, I think that's kind of what our minds go to. But you can create a, you know, your own candle brand with by just customizing the front and basically just white labeling a candle, and it's pretty awesome. And you can also just incorporate, you know, some, I think this would mainly be slogans and sayings for the most part that you would want to put on there. I
Mhm.
know I've been in retail stores that like novelty retail stores that do just put funny things on the front of the candles, right? And it's just a cool gift. And so I just want to point out one more thing, and then we'll move on. Printify's got 900 plus products, and candles are number 15.
That's
Like that's
crazy.
just wild. Like that's
Mhm.
just wild. So if you're out there in your discount, you're in your brain, you're like, nah, candles, number 15 out of 900 products. Like that's pretty incredible. So it's a popular product. It's a trendy product. It's a great gift, and definitely something you should check out.
100%. Definitely a consideration. Um, I like
The
the
next one threw me for a
eco-friendly.
loop, bro.
What's that?
The next one's throwing me for a loop.
Yeah, that one is crazy. I was just gonna say about candles. I like that there's the eco-friendly option
Mhm.
because I know that that was actually a point of debate for a while for a lot of people. You know, some people, especially if you're in the eco-conscious niche, people weren't loving certain candles because they weren't very eco-friendly. Uh, it's just this is just the evolution of print on demand. The new products just keep coming all the time. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's jump to number 14, which is throwing Kerry for a loop. Can anyone guess what this is?
I'm trying to figure
There's
out
no one
I'm
on
trying to
the other
figure out what it
line, so I'm
is.
just going to spill the beans. What's that?
I'm trying to figure out what you'd use this for. Anyways, keep going.
Oh, I've got
Hold on. Just say it, and then
I've
then we'll
got
talk
ideas
about it.
for this one. All right,
What?
this
You
one
got ideas?
number 14 is cushions. Number 14 is
Cushions.
cushions, but more
Cushions.
like pillows. You know, in the
That's
report.
what I was wondering. Is that a
Yeah.
Canadian
No,
term?
it's
Do Canadians call pillows cushions?
no, dude. I
Sorry.
mean, actually, yes. Is that? But I don't think that's a Canadian thing. Like we call them pillows too. You know?
No, a cushion. I just I to me a cushion is you only sit on it.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can only sit
Right.
on it.
I thought
So
it
I'm
was a
like,
little bit weird too, to be honest. That was what they called it on the article. And I was like, why are you calling it cushions? Like when you go on your website, it says pillows behind almost everything. So
they have a product that's called cushion though. Is what's interesting. Like
yeah,
they have all these pillows. Yeah, they got 6 pillows, but they got one called cushion. So I'm like, are they saying number 14 is that one cushion or the pillow category?
no, I
That's
don't
what I'm
think so.
thinking.
Because if you look at their best sellers, if you look at their best seller, it's the spun polyester square pillow.
Okay.
And it has pillow in the name. So
Okay. So it's just a yeah. Okay. I'm tracking with you. All right. Pillows I can get on board with.
right.
Cushions,
Let's
like
just
what?
call them what they are. They're pillows. I don't know why they
Yeah,
said cushions. Maybe
pillows.
that was an SEO. I have no clue, man. But again, going back to the home and living product category, huge right now. Something to consider even for apparel brands. There's a lot of apparel brands that still have stuff in the home and living product category, like big apparel brands. So don't rule this out. What I like about them, they're usually pretty simple. It's kind of like a t-shirt. Like you could just throw a hilarious slogan on there, like you could have on a shirt or an apparel item. And if it does well on a shirt, there's a good chance it could do good on a pillow too. You can do patterns as well. It's a profitable, I really like profitable products. There's one product in here that I'm like pretty opposed to because it just, you make no money from it, no profit. We'll get to that one in a bit. But
Mm.
this one can be really profitable. The margins can be really high. There's a lot you can do with this. You can create customized, personalized pillows where, let's say, you put your dog's face or a photo of your dog on the pillow. You could have your wedding photo on the pillow. You can have inspirational quotes. You can have a pattern that's popular right now. There are a lot of ways, like they could be good accent pieces in the living room, but then they can be just fun accent pieces, like going back to the dog example or something like that. But this is another one that I think is actually quite giftable. I think it's quite giftable, especially if it's personalized. Kerry, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think just give you a side tip here for everybody out there since I'm in the AI mode. I've been experimenting a lot with patterns and seamless patterns with AI, and they're really, really, really easy to create. And so I think a cool opportunity here for a pillow because of the way they're all over printed, doing
Mhm.
patterns and different things, and maybe using AI to create some of those is a great idea. So pillows are great. I wanted to point out on here pricing like as low as $8.11 is like the lowest one that they have. Just they have one also for $10.70 on the premium plan. Um, so there's an opportunity for quite a bit of margin there. For
Right.
for a all over print pillow, even a small one that's like you throw on a couch. I mean, I've been with my wife to the I'm trying to think of all the different stores, and we've paid. I'm ashamed to say this over $100 for a pillow for one pillow. And I have about 8,000 of them on our couches,
Dude,
and I like just looking at the dollar bills.
right. How many people's home have you been to and they just have like pillows everywhere, man? Like my mom is
We
one of those
do. It's
people. Like,
me.
yeah,
It's my
yeah,
wife.
my mom is one of those people. Like you go into the guest better matter place and there's like 10 pillows on the bed, and it just like seems like overkill to be
What's
honest.
at
But
the fancy places though, you go I go with my wife and we have to buy the cover and the inside part, like they're separate. You don't even buy them together.
right,
So they end up being just crazy expensive for these nice pillows that we have to have.
right.
Uh, and anyways, my point is these prices on here, even on the higher end, for like a bigger pillow, I mean, you could get very good margin. If you're paying
Mhm.
$20 for a pillow, you could sell it easily for $60, 50,
Yeah.
$60. I mean, and what my point is, that's not even on the cheaper side. Like people are out here paying hundreds of dollars for pillows. It's like me, it's crazy. I'd be happy with a $60 pillow.
Right, right.
But anyways, I do want to go back to just as a side tip, like creating patterns, different things like that. I think there's cool opportunity there. You mentioned personalization. That's really cool.
It's
That's
huge.
amazing. I keep getting the brand that does the dog, like your pet, and it creates the pillow based off your pet's picture, which is pretty cool. So tons of stuff you can do with these. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah, and I just want to drop a pro tip that can go for almost every single product in here. And I've probably said this before, but I like to reiterate things because I don't expect everyone to listen to every episode, and they might have forgot. So, what I encourage you to do, if you have a best-selling design, if you have a best-selling design and you're having a lot of success with it, turn it into a collection. So a lot of people, when they start with a new design, they drop it on maybe 1, 2, 3 products. Let's say a tee, a tank, and a sweatshirt, for example. That's great. That's what we do too. Because we don't want to waste our time launching a bunch of products on designs that are trash, designs that aren't converting. And so what we like to do is we like to get the validation first when we release it on, 2 to 3 products. And if it does really well, then we will scale it into a collection. And this is something that you can totally do with a lot of these things, like pillows. Pillows is
Mm.
one of those things. Like, if you had a personalized option for someone to put their dog on a shirt, what's to say you couldn't do the exact same thing for a pillow? And who knows, maybe they'll get both. It's not uncommon at all that people buy multiple items of the same design in different products, and a lot of the times even in the same products. So let's move on to number 13 because I am particularly excited about this one. And when I was preparing for this episode, Kerry, I was debating whether to do a top 10 or a top 15. And
Mm.
part of the reason why I chose top
Ah.
15 was because of this item, which I
Mhm.
think gets way underappreciated and doesn't get nearly as much love or attention
This
as
is
it
really
deserves.
low. This is really low on the list.
Yeah.
Just
Number
saying.
13. Number 13 is hats. Hats,
What?
hats, hats. I love selling hats. This is by far and away my best selling product of all time, still to this day.
Mhm.
And right now, spring is almost here. When you're listening to this, spring might be here. Now is the perfect time to release hats. Usually around this time is when hat sales really start taking off. But keep in mind, people wear hats all year round. They're trendy. You can wear them in the gym. You can wear them. You can wear them out, even if it's not sunny. Maybe you're having a bad hair day. There's a lot of reasons to wear hats. But a couple things that I really like about it is they're small and lightweight, which means they ship for very cheap. So you don't have to pay big shipping costs because they're not heavy. They're usually one size fits most, meaning very low returns. And there's just way less competition in hats than there is in like the usual suspects, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, that kind of thing. So I want to encourage you, going back to the pro tip, if you have a winning design, and if it's a really simple design that you could actually put on a hat, put it on a hat and add it to the collection. See how it does for you. Obviously I can't guarantee results. All I can speak from is my experience and the experience I've seen from a lot of other sellers who have had success with hats. But this is a product that is not going anywhere. And it is, I mean, like I said, it's far and away outsold t-shirts for me, sweatshirts for me, even hoodies for me, which is my second best-selling product, my number one apparel product of all time. But I'm just a huge fan of this, and it's just one of those things that I feel like is not talked about enough.
Mhm.
So I want to shed some light on this, and I want to encourage people. This is really easy to do, really easy to add hats to your shop. So, Kerry, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I love hats. I wear hats almost every day. Love hats. I'm surprised they're low on this list. I will say I've had the opposite. I actually did not have very good success with hats. I added hats a number of years ago. I ended up removing them from the catalog a little bit later down. Just didn't really work for me. The only thing I would have would be sometimes it seems hard for some best selling designs that to maybe translate from like a t-shirt to like a hat design, with
Mm-hmm.
the potential for it being embroidered and the smaller space. And there are hats you can get that can be printed on. They're not like all embroidery. There's also
Yeah,
patches. There's different things like that. I love hats. I think it's a great opportunity. I don't think there's anything to me not having success with it or anything like that. It just didn't work for my brand.
sure.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely think more people should be using hats. I also think one maybe a small hurdle is they're maybe not as quite as accessible, right? Like every print on demand is going to have t-shirts.
Mm.
Not every print on demand has hats, or if they do, they have a limited selection. So not always as accessible, but I think it's a great opportunity, and always will be a popular item for sure because people love hats. And so I think it's definitely a good idea for a lot of people, and you should go check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm a huge fan. All right, enough of me gushing over hats. But I'm just sharing, like this is my number one best-selling product of all time, even right now. And so,
it's awesome.
and a lot of people, a lot of our students, a lot of my TLA students, I'm sure a lot of your Sure School students, and a lot of our 6FF students aren't even
Hmm.
thinking about like hats. They're not selling them. There's a lot less competition in the space. So I made my case. I hope some people consider this, and I hope you guys have a lot of success with it. But keep in mind, the design is almost always the most important thing. If the design sucks, the hat's not going to sell. If it's a winning design, there's actually a good chance that you will make hat sales. So that's really what it comes down to. So yeah, let's move on to number 12, and we're stepping into apparel territory here. We do have a lot of non-apparel items that we're going to still be talking about, but we're going to be hitting on one of our apparel items. Number 12 is tank tops. And a couple of things that I like about tank tops, there's less competition than t-shirts. So I feel like every apparel brand sells t-shirts, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's the number one best-selling product for a reason. People are buying them. There's demand there, and that's great. But if you can offer, your that same design on a tank top, it gives someone another option. Maybe they'll buy both. Who knows, right? I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like a couple of times I've mentioned one of my favorite brands, Spiritual Gangster. I shop from there. I bought uh, two tank tops and two t-shirts, and uh, one tank top and one t-shirt said one slogan, that like the same slogan, and the other tank top and t-shirt said a second slogan. So it's like four items with two slogans, right? This happens all the time. So I was pumped when I saw that they had tank tops and t-shirts. I bought both. So the other thing I like about it is it's particularly good if you're in like an outdoor niche or a sports niche. So if
Yeah.
you're in the gym, wrestling, running, cycling, all these places, people love wearing hiking. A lot of people love wearing tank tops because they get sweaty, they get hot, and they're just more comfortable a lot of the time than wearing a t-shirt, even though a lot of people still do wear t-shirts at these things. So I think there's a strong case to be made to add tank tops, especially as we're going into the summer. That's probably when you're going to see your tank top sales go up. That's when ours usually go up, like in the springtime, transitioning into the summer. So Kerry, what do you think?
Not my favorite product, but it's partly just because I don't wear tank tops. But I think it's, you mentioned a couple good things there. If you're in a kind of outdoorsy type niche, a sports category, or you have a specific type of customer that would wear this in the hot weather time, then I think you should consider adding it. I think it's not as many people wear tank tops. A lot of people don't like the way they look or whatever, but it's in the top 15 best selling items for a reason. So there's definitely enough demand there for sure to consider adding it if it makes sense for your brand. So that's just something I would consider. Does it make sense for your brand? Think about your customer. Think about the types of apparel that they wear, the types of products that they want. To me, this might be a product that you go and just shoot a survey out. Like before you go through adding tank tops in, maybe you shoot a survey out in an email. You put something up in your stories on social media. You say, hey, do you want us to add tank tops? Yes or no? Would you wear a tank top, right? And just get some feedback from your followers and see, if that's something that they actually want. Could be a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not a
a
big
cool
tank top
idea.
fan though, man. You got the guns, so you need the tank to show off the guns.
Well, thank you. I was gonna say, with all that pickleball, you're not wearing tank
Okay,
top.
I have one large arm. That's my right. It's significantly larger than my left arm. That's not a joke. It's for real.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, dude,
It's
you need
hilarious.
like maybe one sleeve, one like tank top sleeve, so you can just show
Yeah.
off that big arm of yours.
Yep.
But to be honest, man, I
I'm
wear
not flexing on this podcast video.
Let's see it. Flex
No.
that arm.
No.
All
I need some
right,
tanks.
fine.
Give me some
Fine.
tanks.
No, I actually wear tank tops all the freaking time. When I'm home and I'm working, which is most of the time, and
Yeah.
I'm not on camera, I'm almost always in a tank top. Almost always. Like
Yeah.
just before this, I was in a
you
tank
look good in
top.
a tank top.
What's that?
Yeah. You look good in a tank top. I get it.
Thank you. Well,
I get
no,
it.
I just like wearing them because they're just really comfortable. And
Yeah.
I live in Arizona
It's
where it's
warm. Yeah.
warm and sunny. So it's like, I just love wearing them. And like even just before this episode, I had to switch out of my tank top and put on a shirt because
Nice.
I don't feel like it looks very professional it would look very professional if I was recording for my 500 YouTube subscribers that watch me on YouTube. I just, I usually put on sleeves. So anyhow, I'm a huge fan, but I can definitely see why some people wouldn't be. But if you are in any outdoor or physical fitness niche, there's a strong case to be made here. All right, let's move on to number 11. This
might be my top pick right here.
Yeah, I was going to say,
pick.
I don't think this will come as a surprise to anyone. Number 11 is Tumblers. So Tumblers, they've been popular for a really long time. This is not a new product by any means. They've been around for so long. And there are some brands that are absolutely crushing with Tumblers, like Piper Lou. Have you heard of Piper Lou? This huge e-commerce, like online e-commerce brand. I don't know what their niche is. It's kind of just like funny humor for middle-aged women. I would like, that's how probably I would explain it, but they are always like, they're crushing it with Tumblr sales, and they just put really simple, hilarious, and relatable slogans on Tumblers. So a couple things that I like about these: less competition than t-shirts. A lot of things have less competition than t-shirts, but I mean like less competition than apparel kind of in general. The usual suspects: t-shirts, tanks, sweatshirts, hoodies. Very low return rates because you get what you get. There's not different sizes, and someone doesn't look and say, "Oh, this doesn't fit me." It's a tumbler. So you're not going to get a lot of returns on this. Great for wine, coffee, tea. If you're in any of those niches, this is a no-brainer. But really, I think for any niche, one thing I really like about this is how giftable it is. This is kind of like a candle, a tumbler. You can get someone a really funny and relatable tumbler about them and gift it to them. Most of us drink coffee or tea or wine. And so this actually makes a lot of sense. Kerry, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's just a super trendy category. What I would let people know is there's just tons of different options for the product to sell, not just on Printify, but tons of print on demands, all kinds of different types. I mean, we're really just talking about pretty much water bottles and like drinkware overall, other than mugs. This is kind of separate from mugs.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of different kinds, a lot of different sizes. You've got the Yeti kind of style with with kind of like the lid that goes on top with like the little magnetic movable thing. You've got the Yeti style with like the lid and a straw. You've got the more like insulated water bottle style with like the screw on lid with the pop out top. You've got like the ones that are almost like a cup with the screw on lid, like the clear ones, and they have those in different colors, which is crazy. You've got there's just like so many. I'm describing these for the audio listeners, but there's like tons of different styles. And so there's just a lot of different options. They're just very trendy. It's something that people always need. Like, what percentage of people are like just carrying around a water bottle all day? I mean, like I do. I have a water bottle with me at all times, full of water. I got one right here. Like, yeah,
always
drinking up. So you got to stay hydrated, right? So it's just a cool product. It's trendy. It seems like every day there's like a new cool brand that comes out with another style of tumbler water bottle type thing. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I think it'll sell well for most brands. It's a trendy product, and you should sell it.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a print-on-demand company,
the Stanley ones,
that offers the Stanley oint. I think
somebody needs to get on it.
I think there's a massive opportunity for any print-on-demand company to just open up that space. So Printify, Printful, Gelato, any print-on-demand company who's listening to this, which I don't know if it's any, but if there are any of you listening, this is a massive opportunity right now. There's a lot of people. You even look at Elevated Faith. We did a 7-figure brand breakdown for them a couple episodes ago.
They're crushing it with that.
They have jumped on this trend and they're absolutely crushing it. Like they were sold out of half or more of their Stanley style tumblers. They weren't actually Stanley tumblers, but they looked exactly like them. Maybe the same manufacturer. And they just put their own spin on it. They put their own designs and patterns and whatnot. I wish a print-on-demand company would jump on that, because I really love when, big trends like the Stanley style mug is unlocked for print-on-demand sellers, because there's clearly huge demand for it. And if you can offer something like that, but that's specific to your niche, that's relatable, there's just so many sales to be made there. And I think
it's possible because they've got them on like custom ink and stuff, like pretty inexpensively. So like I know that it's possible. Like, come on, print on demands. You're sleeping on it.
Well, especially the biggest print-on-demand companies, because those are what the majority of people are using, right? So it'd just be nice if they jumped on these things quick. Anyhow, that's my rant. But let's jump on to number 10, and this is probably my least favorite one. I know it's popular. I know it's a big seller, but the reason I'm not a fan of this one is just because of the profits. It's not a very profitable product. Even if your margin is like 2, 3, 4 times, you still don't make that much money. And it takes profits to grow a brand. So I'm all about the high profit and high profit margin products. Number 10 is stickers. So I will say stickers are good for branding, and I think that's what a lot of sellers use it for. It can be like a free gift with purchase, or people do buy them. They're number 10. Clearly, people are buying them.
Yeah.
They are very popular, but they're a low price, low profit product. And that is why I've never sold stickers. I'll probably never sell stickers. I just don't want to waste my time on products that aren't going to move the needle for my brand. And I'm not saying no one should offer stickers. I like do whatever you want with your brand, but profitability in sales and profitability are key. So I think, I don't know. I just don't think they're the best use of time and energy in most cases, but maybe there's some people absolutely crushing it. I don't know. That's my thoughts on stickers. Kerry, what are your thoughts?
No, I think you nailed it in your first point that I think probably the reason they're so high on this list is that a lot of people use them for branding, throw them into the package,
Right.
that kind of thing, right? So I think that's probably why they're high on this list. What I would say is they are kind of a no-brainer for a lot of people, and so what I would encourage you to do if you want to use stickers, I think they're cool, but you just use them as an upsell. Like put them as like an add-on product. Like it's not a core product that you want to sell, right? Like,
Right.
but if it can add on an extra couple dollars of profit, just a quick, bang, add a couple extra dollars, then I think it's great. You may not want to use it as a primary upsell. You may want to sell them in like bundles. Like a lot of print on demands, and I don't have the Printify ones in front of me at the moment, but a lot of print on demands offer them in like 3-packs and stuff like that, so you can get a little more out of them.
Right.
So if you're going to sell them, that's kind of the way that I would recommend doing it. Upsell, an add-on product, something like that is probably a better option.
Yeah, it's definitely not one that you're going to want to put paid ads behind, because that's going to be very challenging to make them profitable. But yeah, I mean, there is a case to be made to use them as an upsell, especially one way I do like them as an upsell is, let's say that you have a free shipping threshold for orders $50 and above. And if someone buys 2 t-shirts, I'm just making this up on the spot. If someone buys 2 t-shirts from your brand and it gets them to something like $48, $49, well, it's going to be tougher to sell them on getting a third t-shirt to get that free shipping threshold. I think a lot of people will, but it's going to be a lot easier of a sell to get them to buy a sticker. And they're going to be pumped because now they got free shipping and you sold a sticker. So I guess you could say everybody wins. But
Yeah.
that would be a reason where it would make some sense. But yeah. All right, let's move on to number 9. We're in the top 10 already. We're moving quick. We are moving quick through these. So number 9, which may come as a surprise to some. I've actually sold a lot of these, so it doesn't come as a huge surprise, is tote bags. Tote bags is number 9. This is actually, I think, a higher in demand product than a lot of people think, especially if your niche has eco-conscious people. So if you're in an eco-conscious, like environmental niche, or vegan niche, or any sort of niche where this is important to your people, to your tribe, to your audience, this to me is kind of a no-brainer. And this is something that I like to add to collections when I have a validated winning design. So I wouldn't usually just launch a tote, like a design on a tote bag, without first getting the validation from another product. Let's say like t-shirts selling really well, then I wouldn't hesitate at all to build out that collection, to scale that and include tote bags. A lot of people use them. I mean, you think about how many women use a purse. They can be good for groceries. There's some states where plastic bags are banned. So it actually makes a lot of sense. And there's just not a lot of competition here. Kerry, your thoughts on tote bags?
Yeah, it's another one I don't really understand. I agree with you. I think there's opportunity in all of these products. So let me say that I think there's opportunity in all these products. For me, I think it's got to be about the design on the tote bag more than the function. Personally, now I do agree with you on some states requiring it for groceries and different things, and I'm curious those, like, those people out there that I guess they just want to look like style, like they want to have a stylish bag for that. I mean, that's interesting to me. But the reason I think it boggles my mind a little bit is because like I just feel like we have so many tote bags that are just like stuffed in like a cabinet somewhere in our house, and we just never use them. We have reusable bags for groceries that we
Mhm.
take, but they're just like more generic, I guess. But we just get like we constantly get more tote bags. Just like their gifts are given here or there, and it's like, what are we ever going to use these for? Like, what are we ever going to use these? And I know my wife, just wouldn't. I don't think she would like. I can't see her carrying around a tote bag as opposed to like purse or whatever. A lot of women have like a big purse. But I think it's got to be about the design. Obviously, they're number 9 for a reason, for sure. Eco-conscious shoppers. I think there's opportunity there. Yeah, so there's definitely opportunity there. I just trying to figure out. I don't know. I don't get that one necessarily. Not. It comes as a little bit of a surprise, especially in the
Yeah.
top 10.
Fair enough. I think would be surprising for a lot of people, but I'm just kind of spitting some off on the top of my head. Like
Yeah.
eco-conscious is obviously a no-brainer, but I think
Mhm.
like book lovers, if you're someone that likes to carry books around because you just love reading, if you're a beach lover, you like to go to the beach, totes could be great for that. People just love to um share their interests. Like I feel like Americans in particular, we just love to like express ourselves and our passions, and it can be a great conversation starter. And a lot of people,
Mhm.
they'll take any opportunity to share something that they're passionate about. So it could be a gift, or it could be some. I think most people would just buy it for themselves, but I do think there's a lot of niches that probably use those people probably use totes a lot. I use totes a lot, especially for groceries.
Mm.
But yeah, I could see why it would come as a surprise. All right. Number 8. Number 8, I feel like this one's not
I
very
like
talked about.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Low key,
This
low key
this
sleeper.
yeah, this is one that should not very talked about, and that's phone cases. So
Yep.
there's a number of reasons why I like phone cases, probably for the same reasons you carry. First, 86% of people own smartphones. So, I mean, that
Okay,
kind of
let's think
says it
about it.
all. It's
We don't have the stat though,
right.
but 86% of people, the percent. Oh wait,
The
86.
percentage of
I would think.
smartphone owners is actually higher than 86%.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, but what my point is, what percentage of those people have a case on their phone? And got to be it's got to be like 90%. Come on, it's got to be really. I know there's some weirdos out there. If you're one of these weirdos that doesn't have a case on your phone,
Dude, I'm one of those weirdos. Check it
you're one of those
out.
weirdos.
I'm one of
Oh,
those
come on,
weirdos.
dude.
But
Oh
I've
man,
had
I got the
cases.
leather.
I've owned many cases in the past, to be
Yeah.
fair.
So I think that the percentage has to be really high of like people that have a case.
Right.
So that to me that screams like opportunity.
100%.
Continue on. Continue on.
100%. So a lot of things to like about phone cases. They're small and lightweight, meaning super easy, super cheap to ship.
Mhm.
They're not going to get broken in shipping. They're just a case, so you don't have to worry about that like you do sometimes with things like mugs and candles. There's actually some brands who this is their product category, like they dominate in this product category. One of those brands is Casely. So Casely is this brand that I heard about actually in a podcast. They are a 7, maybe 8-figure, probably 8-figure brand, and this is their like sole like product. They do sell case, like other things like iPhone earbud cases and stuff,
Mhm.
or sorry, AirPod cases and stuff, but really they made their fortune off of cell phone cases. And they're definitely not the only one. They had a phone case subscription service where people would get 1 cent every month. And it's actually surprising how many people own more than one. So
Oh
there's
yeah,
definitely,
people switch them all the time for
yeah.
sure.
And there's people that like to have their cases kind of match their aesthetic at any point in time. So there are people that'll be constantly buying new phone cases. Another thing is that phones are always changing. And as a result, the cases are
You
always
need a new
changing.
case every year.
Yeah. Yeah. With most product, most phones with every new what do you call them? Like new, like model,
Model.
a lot
Mhm.
of the times it requires a new case. And so you've got that, which is changing all the time. Unlike a product that someone could keep for 5 to 10 years, a lot of people won't be keeping these for 5 to 10 years. But there's more too. There's a lot of different kinds of cases. So you can get the tough cases, you can get the slim cases, you can get the flexi cases, you can get impact resistant, you can get biodegradable cases. My wife has one of those. If you're really into eco-friendliness, biodegradable makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of different cases, like a lot of different case types. So you've got the different models that are changing all the time. You've got different case types for different purposes. So you might want to use the biodegradable case, but if you're doing something where there's a high likelihood you could drop your phone or something, maybe you want a much more firm one. And then there's the aesthetic argument where a lot of people they just want a trendy case. Maybe they're wearing pink today, so they switch to their pink phone case so it matches their outfit. There's actually people out there that do that. So,
Yep.
yeah. Any other thoughts on phone cases?
No, I would just say I'm surprised that there's not more brands that we see that pop up that are phone case specific, like that are focused in on phone cases. And I think there is huge opportunity here for you to go start a niche focused phone case business. Like go put your niche focused designs, right? Pet designs, think of all the big niche categories and then go make a phone case brand. And like that's a great opportunity.
Yeah. Or just offer it in your catalog as an additional product option.
Yeah.
Even if you're in apparel or something like that. It makes sense for most niches. All right.
Yeah.
Number 7. This one is huge. And maybe it'll come as a surprise to people, but it doesn't come as a surprise to me. And that's posters. So going back to the whole kind of like home and living product category, which is just blowing up right now. I feel like, especially for print on demand, it's really blowing up right now. Posters are great. You can use them in living rooms, bedrooms, offices, pretty much any indoor space or any room, pretty much any room in your house. And they're not just like those cheap college posters that we all had in our room of our favorite musicians and stuff. There's
Lamborghini.
actually, what's that?
Put the Lambo on the wall.
Yeah, or the Lambo, whatever it was. Like, I feel like everyone in college had a poster, or in high school, in their room. I know I did. But there's a lot of different types. There's the paper posters. You can get them framed. You can have metal posters. There's actually quite a few options here, and some of them are very high quality. So, if you hear this and you're thinking, oh, why would I sell cheap paper posters that people put in their high school kids or college students put in their rooms? No, like check them out. Whatever print on demand company you're using, go look at their posters, and you'll probably be surprised how nice some of them are. Kerry, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's huge. The thing that comes to mind right now, we know that is kind of blown up is personalized posters. I've met so many brands, talked to owners, went to the summit and met a lot of business owners in this category. Posters are huge. Personalization. You think about the maps; those are huge right now. Crazy opportunity. Go sell them.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to number 6. And number 6,
these are heavy hitters right here.
This is a massive heavy hitter that I feel like a lot of people don't know about, but those who know, because there's a lot of print on demand sellers who are cleaning up with this product, literally and figuratively. You could use it for cleaning up, but that's blankets. Blankets are huge right now. And there's so many uses for them. So they can be a great accent piece for homes. We have a blanket thrown over our couch. Maybe you do too, Kerry. A lot of people
blankets
do.
we don't actually use. They're just there for looks.
Right. But then there's the ones that you do actually use that you cuddle up on the couch with. You can have them for bedrooms, for offices. You can just have them. I feel like you can have them pretty much anywhere, especially one that is just this is one that I see selling really well right now, is pets. Blankets for pets. So either a
Mhm.
blanket that your pet can use and you can put it, maybe it's something about that pet. Maybe it's personalized. That's really big right now. Personalized blankets, very big. Um, Outdoor excursions, like going to the beach, going for a picnic. There's, you could put kind of like posters and a lot of other things. You could put a wedding photo on there or something that's just really significant to someone. Yeah, this is just one that makes a lot of sense for a lot of niches. And again, I think blankets are very giftable, which I really like about them. And one of the things I like the most is that they are a high profit margin product.
Yeah.
All about those high profit and high profit margin products. Uh, so a couple that are really popular because there's actually quite a few different, some print on demand companies actually have a decent variety of different blankets, but the two that are most popular, like I'm just looking at Printify, man, they just keep going. Hooded blanket, fleece Sherpa blanket, polyester, sweatshirt blanket. There's just like tons. But some of the best sellers, I just want to call them out, are the velveteen and fleece blankets. Those are really, really popular, like a Sherpa fleece blanket. Those are really
Mhm.
popular right now. But the velveteen plush blanket is Printify's best-selling blanket. So this is just a great product. Kerry, I want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, great product. People, it has a high perceived value. People are willing to spend. Like when you have a super soft blanket, people are willing to spend a lot on it. I have a ton of blankets in my house, so I think it's great, and I love that there's so many options available. I just continually think about. I'm just thinking about just when we got into print on demand. There just wasn't all these products. Like there's
Right.
so much opportunity. I mean, you can sell almost anything you want with print on demand with no
Yep.
risk. It's just like it's crazy. So tons of opportunity.
And best of all, I still firmly believe, and I'm sure you do too, Kerry, that this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Mhm.
Like there are so many industries that have not yet been disrupted by print on demand that are going to be disrupted by print on demand. Like for example, how Printify just recently released skincare, supplements, and coffee. Those were kind of
Mhm.
untapped by print on demand sellers. It was not something that I didn't know a single print on demand company that offered these. And now they're offered. And that's just Printify. Like, Printful, Gelato, whoever, they always seem to be kind of upping the ante. And I love this. This is why I love competition because it pushes everyone to be better. And
Yeah,
this is bringing more options for us and more opportunities for sellers.
for
So
sure.
let's move on to number 5, which this is one that I really, really like, really, really like. And this was kind of, I was really shocked about this one, like how big it was. I didn't realize until I went to the Gelato Accelerator Summit. I was presenting there last summer, and so many of the brands were canvas wall art sellers. That was like their number one selling product, that and posters. And this is just really big. So it's said that the custom wall art is part of the luxury product segment, predicted to increase to $72.6 billion in revenue by 2028. What I like about this is, again, high profit, high perceived value, high profit margin product. That's one of the things that really draws me to this one. They're really good for decorating pretty much any room in a house. I mean, you could put canvas wall art almost anywhere, your living room, your bathroom, your office. It's just, yeah, it just makes a lot of sense. It's also super giftable and it's super memorable. So a lot of people, a lot of newlyweds, they'll get a photo of them put on a canvas and they'll put that somewhere like their bathroom or their bedroom or something like that. In that case, it's really good for personalization. And there's just a lot less competition than apparel. But I think that this is a lot bigger of a product category that a lot of sellers think. And I would encourage you to consider this if it makes sense for your niche, which I think a lot of niches, this could make a lot of sense. Kerry, your thoughts?
I think this is one that's been on the rise for a while. I was kind of
Mhm.
trying to look up while you were going there just to see if I could find any older lists of best-selling print-on-demand products. I feel like this has been, it's up to 5.
Yeah.
I did find one from Shopify. I don't think you can access the old Printify ones, but I found one from Shopify with top 21 best-selling print-on-demand products. That's very similar to this list. It's got t-shirts number 1, those kind of things. Mugs number 3. It's got wall art as low as 13. This is for 2022. Like this was 2022 best-selling products. The data we're using from Printify, kind of going off 2023 data, leading into 2024, and wall art is just climbing up the charts. So it's similar to posters, kind of in that same category, but obviously a little bit of a different product. There's all kinds of different wall art you can sell. It can be personalized, high perceived value, right? I think this has a very high perceived value because, if you think about you're going to hang this in an office, in a house, something like that, that art piece could be anywhere from $40 or $50 to thousands of dollars. Right. I'm not saying that you need to go sell canvas art for thousands of dollars. What I'm saying is, if you just think about the perceived value of a piece of art you're going to put in your home, right? Mm-hmm. Some people spend thousands of dollars on art pieces of wall art to put on their walls, right? So it just has a very high perceived value. This is something you can potentially sell for hundred plus, depending on sizing, the kinds of different kinds, potentially hundreds of dollars. And I know there are canvas art brands that I've bought things from where I've spent multiple hundreds of dollars. I'm looking at one right there in my office that I spent multiple hundreds of dollars on just because I wanted a cool art piece in my office. It's literally something that's just like probably print on demand, because it's so easy to do. So high profit margin, high perceived value, moving up the charts, trendy product, go do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are a lot of brands who this is their cash cow. Like this is the product type that their brand is based around. I've met some of those brands, 6, 7 figure brands. Lots of success to be made. I mean, Canvas Walmart can complete a lot of spaces in a home and make them look really good. As a former realtor in a past life, we used to always put up wall art when we had an empty home to make it feel homier as part of the staging process. And even if we didn't do a full stage, we would still do that. So I love this category. Number 4, I don't love so much. I still think it can sell really well. And there are brands that this is their product, like this is their main product. But that's mugs. This one is very practical. It's very, very practical. Mugs are used. I mean, who doesn't wake up in the morning and make themselves a coffee or a tea and drink it from a mug? I mean, we must have like 15 mugs in my kitchen. You carry, it's probably the same thing. They're very giftable, which is really nice. And they can work for pretty much any niche. The reason why I don't love it is because it's not like a super high profit margin product. That's really the only reason why I don't love it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't sell it. I've sold mugs and I've sold lots of them and it was fine. But it's not like one that you would put paid ads behind in most cases. It could be better as an upsell. But Kerry, what are your thoughts on mugs?
Yeah, I think our favorite things on this list, as far as opportunity, they tend to be a little bit higher priced.
Yeah.
And there is some strategy behind that, right? Because I've talked about this before, and I'll try to just explain it really quickly, and maybe this will help somebody out there. But if you're new to maybe the paid ads game, your cost to acquire a customer doesn't scale at the same rate that your pricing does. So, for instance, if you're going and selling a mug or a sticker, right, you may still pay $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 or more to acquire a customer, even though that product might be priced at $15 or $20. So what that means is that you lose money on that product in most cases, unless you can incorporate upsells and email marketing and retargeting, and you can do a really good job at that. And you're an ads wizard that we aren't. What happens is, though, if you're selling a $15 or $20 product as opposed to selling a $100 product, right? It might cost you $10 or $15 to get a customer to spend $20, but it might only cost you $25 or $30 to get a customer to spend $100. So your cost to acquire a customer doesn't scale at the same rate that your pricing does for products. You can get more margin a lot of times out of some of those higher priced products, especially with paid ads. So I think if I could sum it up, I know that was a very technical strategic answer, but that's one of the reasons we probably aren't as much of fans of some of the lower price products. And t-shirts and apparel sometimes fit in kind of that sweet spot where you can still get margin, but it's not a super expensive product. So that's one of the reasons I think we probably like t-shirts and different things a lot as well. So anyways, that would be my explanation on mugs. Obviously, they're used by millions of people every day, as you said. Like everybody drinks coffee for the most part. I don't, which is crazy, but everybody drinks coffee. Mugs. Everybody's got a million of them in their house. They're great gifts. Yeah, mugs are awesome, but definitely can be a little more difficult with paid ads and getting that margin out of them for sure.
Yeah, that was really well said. Really, really
Thanks,
well
man.
said.
Thanks.
All right, we're down to the top three. I think we could go through these ones pretty quick because they're going to be no surprise to anyone. These are all apparel category products. So let's just jump into number 3, which is hoodies. I actually really love hoodies. Why? Because it goes back to them being a high price or high cost, high profit product. So the profits and the amount of profit that you make from a hoodie is usually a lot more than a t-shirt. Even if the profit margin on a t-shirt is more, a lot of times you're going to make more from a hoodie. So this is my number one best-selling apparel product of all time. So my number one selling product overall is hats, but my number one apparel product is hoodies. This is super popular and I love selling them because of the price point. Kerry, your thoughts on hoodies?
Yeah, I love hoodies. Love hoodies. I've sold a ton of them. They're great. They get more margin. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love hoodies? Come on, man.
Dude, I have
Hoodies are great.
tons of hoodies.
Yeah.
Way more hoodies than the number 2 item, which is also one that I love for almost pretty much all the same reasons as the number 3, which is hoodies. Number 2 is sweatshirts. So sweatshirts I love, again, higher cost, higher profit, really trendy right now. Sweatshirts, especially oversized sweatshirts, are super trendy. For a lot of people, they're selling even better than hoodies. So I love sweatshirts.
Some people just prefer sweatshirts over hoodies or hoodies over sweatshirts. Like,
right.
I will always go for a hoodie. I have some sweatshirts and I like rarely wear them. Like every time I put on a sweatshirt, I'm just like, I look funny in a sweatshirt. I don't know why, but like I love hoodies. But like my wife is the opposite. My wife is like never wears a hoodie. I don't know if I've ever. I probably haven't seen her in a hoodie in like 10 plus years. Only wears sweatshirts. Like love sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just like she just loves sweatshirts. So yeah, all the same things apply as hoodies. Higher profit, higher price. So both can sell really well.
Right.
I'm surprised to see. I guess they just had to put one ahead of the other, but like surprised to see sweatshirts beating out hoodies by one spot.
Yeah, that's definitely not been the case for me in my sales.
Yeah,
but
I've sold way more hoodies. Yeah,
right, sure. Same. But they are really trendy. One downside to sweatshirts and hoodies that a lot of people will say is that they cost more to ship, which is true. They're bigger, they're heavier, they cost more to ship. But hey, at the end of the day, if you're gonna make $20 profit on a hoodie and $10 profit on a t-shirt, who cares if they cost more to ship? The net result is almost always more money in your pocket with a sweatshirt or a hoodie. So, but they're also great for upselling, right? You lure someone in with a t-shirt, you show them that same design on a sweatshirt or hoodie, and a lot of times, if it really resonates with them, they will buy it in multiple styles.
I was gonna say I would actually. My guess would be maybe sweatshirts are pushed over the top because of Christmas sweaters. Like I bet Christmas sweater volume pushes sweatshirts over the top.
They're also just really trendy right now. Like I never really considered myself much of a sweatshirt guy, but I saw them everywhere. I like to shop at like Lululemon and Alo, and I saw this really nice sweatshirt at Lulu and I loved it and I bought it. And now I'm like a sweatshirt guy. I still have way more hoodies than sweatshirts. Nice. I barely get to wear it because my wife steals it all the time. Apparently she's also a sweatshirt person. I thought we were both hoodie people. Apparently that's not the case, but that's a story for another day. It's funny though. We call it our sweatshirt, but I pretty much never get to wear it. So it's awesome though. All right, let's jump on to the final number 1. We already spilled the beans on this one, but there's something we're going to talk about, and that's t-shirts. T-shirts are the GOAT of print on demand. Like they're a staple item. They'll probably always be a staple item. So many people own just a ridiculous amount of t-shirts. They're oversized t-shirts are really trendy right now. Bella Cabas 3001 is really trendy right now, but there is one t-shirt that is absolutely blowing up right now. And it really started, I would say last year, it really started accelerating. And without further ado, that style is the Comfort Colors 1717. This t-shirt is everywhere on platforms like Etsy. So if you go on Etsy and you look for t-shirts, you're going to see a lot of Bella Canvas 3001, but you're also going to see a ton of Comfort Color t-shirts. And here's my hypothesis as to why I believe that the Comfort Colors 1717 has just really dominated in the last year. Bella Canvas 3001 overall is probably more popular for sellers, but this one is really just skyrocketed in popularity. And I think it's because, one, they offer a lot of different colors, which so does Bella Canvas 3001, but a lot of their colors are that retro faded kind of pastel color palette. So if you look at, if you go on somewhere like Printify and you go somewhere like SPOD, Swift POD, that's one of the most popular print providers on there, you'll see that they offer 58 colors of this style. And if you look at a lot of those colors, you'll notice they're very washed out. They're very faded. And it looks very retro. It looks like a worn-in t-shirt that you've had for a long time. And anyone who listened to the Designs Trend episode a couple episodes ago knows that retro, groovy retro is very big right now. Retro designs, retro products. And that's why I think that this is so popular. And I think it's going to be popular for a long time. So it's one that you might want to consider. Like, if you use the Bella Canvas 3001 as kind of the staple t-shirt and you were looking to release a second style of t-shirt, I don't usually recommend having like 5 styles of t-shirts because, they're all t-shirts. But if you want to drop a second one, this would probably be the one that I recommend because there's a case to be made that they look different than the Bella Canvas 3001. Bella Canvas 3001 has an amazing assortment of colors too, but I would say that this one has more of the faded pastel colors, which are really popular right now. Kerry, your thoughts?
Yeah, so a couple thoughts. So first of all, it's a heavyweight tee, which is part of the reason it's more trendy right now. It's looser fitting. So the Bella Canvas is a little bit more fitted, and it's not heavyweight. It's thinner and softer.
Lightweight,
the
yeah.
color is not necessarily a soft t-shirt, but that's kind of in right now. And then just the colors. It's earth tones. Everything is about earth tones right now. That's the whole trend is just earth tones. Lots of browns, tans, different things like that. Maroons are very in right now. And so the last thing I'll let you know, I was trying to find it before I said it, but I'm gonna screw it up. But you can go look into this if you like. The big thing about Comfort Colors is the way that they're dyed. They're actually the garments are dyed a different way than other t-shirts to make them have that look. Right. I can't remember if it's something about the fabric is dyed before it's made into t-shirts or after, something like that. I don't remember which way it is around, but they have a special dyeing process, and that's what gives them that faded kind of like earth tone look. So just trendy colors, trendy fit style right now. And so something you should definitely go sell. And Comfort Colors are great. It's owned by Gildan, for anybody that didn't know. Comfort Colors is owned by Gildan. But great shirt. Awesome.
Yeah, highly recommend this. If I would recommend Bella and Canvas as like the staple in most shops, but this would be one if you wanted to release a new one, or if you wanted to be like, okay, what's a really trendy apparel product right now that we could release? This would be like top of the list. Hands down. It's fantastic. And that's it. That's it. That is it. That's all we got. That is all 15. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. If you did, let us know, because I personally love doing kind of like top 10, top 15. I love knowing these things, and I love sharing them with other sellers because they're very valuable. Again, going back
to like a top 10 worst products,
creating for the demand.
We should.
Well, I mean, we could
find it. We could figure it out.
I feel like it'd be more funny than like value adding. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it might. Some people might be like, "That's why my t-shirt store or that's why my store wasn't selling. That's why my brand wasn't selling. I was trying to sell pencils or something." I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll look into that. If anyone wants to see that, let us know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send us a message on that one if you want to see the top 10 list of worst POD products.
Right.
I did a video that was like top 10 weird weird POD products or something like that.
See,
Did
that's cool because it's products that people didn't know existed.
Yeah.
And maybe some of them, they're like, oh my God, that exists. Like, I want to sell that. Like coffee, for example.
I think candles was on that. I think candles was on that list.
Was
I put
it?
it on there.
Yeah.
It's not that weird anymore.
Right. Dude, they're mainstream. Candles have gone mainstream.
Let's go.
Anyhow, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. We love you guys. Take care. And just always remember that you're one design away, just one single design. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. If you enjoy this episode, please help us out and leave us a review on whichever platform you are listening from. We really, really appreciate it. It goes a long way, and we love shouting you out in episodes. So thank you so much in advance, and we'll talk to you very soon.